One of the things I like to do in Bryce is create pictures with a little bit of more dynamic feel about them. And the best way to do that is to try and imagine you're looking from a different angle rather than just straight ahead. Here's a picture that I did where you can imagine looking up and seeing this spacecraft coming down out of the sky. And here's another one where I've used a low angle, but I've also tilted the picture slightly. And it makes it more interesting than just a plain straightforward view. So how do we do that in Bryce? Well, let's start a new document. And we'll just import a few objects into the scene. Let's see now. I'll use that one. Just zoom out a bit. Smooth the model. We'll get rid of the lower plane. We don't really need that, because what I want to do here is to show how you can use a low angle viewpoint to make the scene more interesting. Now I'll just add a material to this model. And at the moment all you're getting is a basic Bryce scene with a pretty poor view and a model which doesn't look very good actually the way it is, but that will change once we start changing things about, like using the sky for instance. We'll use a different sky. Now already it's starting to look a little bit better, but I'm going to change the scale of the model. Already that's starting to look more interesting. Now I'm going to bring another object into the scene. It's just finding the right object. Let's try this. Okay. I've chosen a robot. Just turn him around a little bit. He's got no materials added to him yet. So again, that's pretty plain. We're going to add a material there. I'll just smooth out the mesh. Right, so here we go. Still interesting, but not very dynamic. So let's start moving things around. Let's try changing the viewpoint. We do that with the camera trackball. I'm going to move that up a little bit, and you can see how the models are moving about, and we're getting a much lower viewpoint here. Let's try that. Now that's looking more like it. And just for a little bit more interest, I'm going to create a pyramid and put that in the background. give that a material as well. In fact, I'll make 2 pyramids. It's just a matter of moving things about until you get them in the right position. Right, let's see what this looks like. So there we are, just a matter of 5 minutes or so, and then we've created an interesting scene, give it a little bit of dynamic feel about it. In fact, if we start tilting things around, it gets even more dynamic. Just pull that in a little bit. Unusual viewpoints. That's what makes a picture interesting sometimes. And you know, we can move things around to our heart's content until we're happy with the composition, until we get exactly what we want. So there we go. 2 simple, easy ways to make the picture more interesting is to create a lower viewpoint and tilt the scene slightly, and it puts a little bit of a different slant on things. It makes things a lot more interesting.